Hi. Now, AI is the new you and I. And this has become a reality for most of us, if not all of us. But what exactly is AI? Should we be scared of it? How should we adopt to it? And what really are the thin lines between the reality and the truth on the ground? And today I have Leon here with us, who has dived into this space, has a better understanding of it. And even as a consumer who is really adopting to the reality of AI is here with us to stay. I want us to help us debunk what is true, what is not true, and how do we stay ready. Leon,
Yes.
welcome to Speak Up Afrika.
Thank you, Wendy, for the opportunity to speak, to shed a few ideas on the topic. Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
I was really excited when we first connected online and you said, AI is my thing. I was like, then you are my guy to be the guest in studio. So what is AI?
You are secretary today, you are data analyst today, you're banker today, you're graphic designer today, you're videographer today, you're editor today, all packaged into one. That's AI. And the difference between those professions and many others in AI is that we never take breaks. They never have moods. They never get tired. So AI is basically everything that you need in assisted roles, all packaged into one and available for you for free at any time at minimal to zero cost. Yeah, so that's AI for me.
Good.
Yes.
That's quite a lot that can be unpacked there. And I think when you say that, most people feel threatened because these are people's career paths that they've chased for years and for a long time, you know. I think the first time I started interacting with artificial intelligence, I was like, oh, you know, some of us who are public speakers, AI will never take away our roles. But today in the morning, I was actually seeing videos on TikTok where AI has been able to make videos of human beings and it looks so real. But how safe are we with AI? Because from as simple tools like Chat GPT, you constantly feed your personal information for it to generate what you want. And we've seen data privacy breaches, even with old technology, and now with the evolution. How safe are we with our data with AI?
Now, when it comes to data safety and such topics, they're really relative in discussion because company A will say we have these measures in place, company B will come their own. But the truth is, even right now, as we speak, these microphones, these cameras, our phones in this room, any other gadget in this room is powered by AI and they're actively collecting data. So would you really say that's safety? So that's a relative topic and a controversial one to be discussed. So until maybe stringent measures are put in place and made to be public policies on how to govern data collection and usage by such companies that develop AI tools, then that's not really a topic that can be exhausted and we come to a conclusion that we are safe or not. So yeah, safety, it's not a question at the moment. Yeah, for now, we just look at usability and how to benefit more in spite of the safety issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe policies that have been put in place, because I've had different conversations around policies in tech, you know, and data privacy and how the laws that are there really protect us. But you can come back to that. You've highlighted very many fronts that AI is taking and making life easier for people. I must admit, at the beginning, I was very reserved about AI when we were just, and I believe in the African continent, we are still playing catch up because it's way far advanced out there, right?
Yeah.
But so many people have the fear of it has come to replace us. But I like how you've dived into it and you've sort of adopted and aligned yourself to AI. So which is which? Should we fear for replacement or embrace it and incorporate it? I want you to tell us now that you're really in this space.
No, that's a question I get every day. I walk out of the house. Every day I get on my phone to scour the internet. I get such questions, which a valid question anyway. Now, you will realize that in countries like Vietnam, China, and recently the US, the governments have made AI education compulsory in their lower level schools and the high schools. So it's something that, like you said, has been embraced out there really well. But now here, I think, not I think, I know from our research, 85% of the African market, and that's from the major cities: Nairobi, the Silicon Savannah of Africa, Dar es Salaam, Kigali. 85% of people, they either don't know about AI and they feel that no, they just don't care about the topic, right? So yeah, it's a really on low embracement rate in this continent. But again, fear should not be even mentioned when it comes to AI. Come on, right now, as I'm here, I have 3 other sessions going on, virtual sessions, and I'm actively speaking those questions in those sessions. People are asking questions and they're being answered with my voice. It's just that
Tell me about
it's
that.
not
Are you
live.
serious?
Yes, it's not live, but okay, it's not live in terms of video, but the voices, the audios are exactly me, just by voice cloning and then using few tools here and there, incorporating them so that when a question comes in, they go search for the answer in under 4 seconds and then they reply using my voice. So if I can do that, why should I fear using a tool that can put me in 4 or 5 places at the same time while I do what I love doing, speaking to people?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Let's take a minute there. So you're here with me, but you're also present in other 4 forums.
Yes, 4 webinars actually.
How is that working? Because number one, is the information being given out by the AI tools your own, or it does everything for you? You know, just walk us through that.
Now, what people fail to understand about AI is that as much as AI is basically a combination of computers and internet with human abilities that make us human. That's reasoning, thinking, and making decisions on our behalf. That doesn't mean they can replace you. It just means they can do things on your behalf. So if I wanted to go to the shop and I have no time, I'll have to send you, but I have to tell you what exactly to go and buy. I'll tell you, go bring me 1 kg of sugar, a packet of milk, etc., etc. You're not me. You're just doing something on my behalf, right? So AI works the same way. It cannot function unless you prompt it to give you the results that you want, exact results that you want. So the information that is being shared there right now, it's information that I intended
for it to be shared.
For it to be shared. So yeah, as much as I've not come up with the whole content situation, because a webinar of 30 minutes, imagine writing a script for that. It's too long. I just gave it a prompt. I want this ideal webinar to be in this state, using this tone. This is my audience, my target audience, because the same way you speak to business people in real estate is not necessarily similar to how you speak to doctors, for example, right?
Yeah.
So you understanding that and then inputting that into an AI tool that you've chosen to work with, and then putting it out there brings out the exact quality you will deliver. The only problem, the only problem is you're not there. In fact, it's more than you will deliver because you're limited as a human being, even in your thought process. But AI has access to millions, in fact, billions of data points. So imagine something that can search the whole world for an answer to the same question that you only have access to information maybe based on your environment.
Okay.
Right? Yeah,
just take a hold to that thought. And I'm also in the public speaking space.
Yeah.
And as you're speaking, this is the reflection I'm having in my head. So we have a small company and a team of public speakers who go out to speak on different topics to different communities and groups of people. So if our boss today decided that, you know what, I'm cutting down on costs, because where there's human capital, it means there's a lot of financial injection, because then there are more salaries, there are more allowances to be given out.
Yeah.
So he can easily decide to do away with us because now he has AI. And that's the threat we are talking about, because as a potential employer, I'm looking at, why do I need to pay rent at a building and I can have the computer and the AI tools and still have the same efficiency, if not more, why should I have more human capital at my organization and AI can actually do all these things? And I think that's the people who are getting into AI, that's the debate. And I want to see where your stand is when you say, no, AI cannot replace us. Do you think there are career paths that will be rendered redundant?
Actually, by 2030, 70% of jobs that exist right now will be non-existent. All right, 70%.
So where do these people
A job
go?
like caregiving will be fully automated using robots and all that. You saw recently a hospital in China that used to employ 3,000 doctors was placed under 25 robots and they're delivering 100 times more what 3,000 doctors used to deliver.
Exactly.
So if a doctor can be replaced, who are you as a caregiver not to be replaced? Now, the word replaced, again, I use it relatively when speaking about careers and job paths and all that, because let's say you have a team of your own and you have a marketing guy in your team, right?
Yeah.
And okay, you have marketing guys, several marketing guys, and then you're looking at cutting down on cost. But there is this one guy who is so good at using AI that AI can enable him to do the job of the rest of the four without really necessarily needing the four. So will you fire all of them or fire the four and then return the one? Remember, AI cannot function on its own. Like I said, it needs to be prompted, it needs to be directed, do this, do that. All right? So if you are well equipped with AI tools within your industry and business, why should your boss fire you? Why should your business go under? So instead of fighting the system, because that's a system and you can never win against the system, that's my opinion. Instead of fighting the system, why don't you just embrace it anyway? Yeah.
Okay.
Just embrace it.
So this begs the question, because number one, we both in a subtle way agree that there are people that will be rendered redundant.
Yeah.
If you've not adequately prepared yourself, if you do not have enough skills and knowledge of the upcoming and the evolution of technology in AI. So how do we stay prepared? How do we stay ready? And I say it, I really appreciate that you have gone ahead, many of us in the same age bracket and in the same industry, and you're actually embracing AI. So how do we stay ready? How does Wendy stay prepared and ahead of the game that she's not jobless, frustrated, and depressed? Because I think from what you're saying, it's a ticking time bomb. There will be a pandemic where, honestly, most jobs are being done by AI tools. So where do all these people go? But most importantly, how do we stay ready that we can never be done away with?
Well, the reason why people fear the topic of AI is because they think it's not true. They think it's too complicated. Personally, I'm competent in more than 30 tools of AI, but I rarely use all of them.
Please share some of them.
In fact, I use less than 9, and personally, I use 2. But because of my clients, I have to use more. So they amount to 9. So the thing is, I wasted a lot of time trying to master these tools when all I should have been doing is mastering the basics. Right? Now, if you want to get started on this journey, first you must understand the 3 levels of AI. We have the users. All right. You have the users of AI, those who use AI to enhance their jobs. Let's say you are an influencer, you're using to create content and all that. And then we have creators, all right? Those who create businesses based on AI, or those who actively build AI tools, right? And then we have educators, those who now help people understand AI. Now, currently, I'm in all the categories, but it's not necessarily necessary for you to understand all the categories. Just choose one.
It's important for you to understand where you lie in the 3 categories and make the best out of it.
Do you want to be a user? Do you want to be an educator? Or do you want to be a creator?
A creator,
Yeah. So after understanding that, now you can choose a sample of tools you want to work with, and then now get someone to take you through the basics. AI is very simple. Actually, the biggest basic is prompt engineering. Because AI, as long as you can imagine it, it can make it happen. So when you imagine, how do you now put your imagination?
Do you know how
Into a command.
motivational speakers used to tell people, if you can think it, you can become it. If you can imagine it, then you can have it. And I think AI has come to bring
Yes.
that to such a clear reality. So in a layman's language or
Yes.
explanation, take me through some of the basic tools of AI, because most people just talk about AI, me being included. The most common one is ChatGPT, where most students are getting a bash with it. We'll get to that. But what are some of the tools that are in the AI space?
Okay, just before that, actually, ChatGPT is going to be super powerful. It's going to render 70% of existing tools useless.
Oh, wow.
Because when GPT-5 comes out, it will be crazy. And that's in under 2 months. So if you don't know any other tool, just study ChatGPT. You'll be set than most of your peers. So AI tools, like I said, it depends with what you're doing and what you want to achieve, either in your business or personal life or content creation, whatever field you're in. And that said, personally, I love 11 Labs, right? 11 Labs because of the voice cloning thing. So I use 11 Labs to clone my voice and then upload that voice in a tool like Synthesia with a script now, and then it can now run a live webinar, like I told you, without me being there. And then when you integrate that with tools like ChatGPT or any other large language model tool, when questions are asked, they are thrown straight to ChatGPT. It will research and then throw back the answer. And then the voice, which is cloned, gets to respond. So I love tools that make my work easier. So 11 Labs is a super, super tool for voice generation, voice cloning, etc. Synthesia is good for creating avatars. You've heard of AI influencers, right?
Yes.
There is a very high possibility we could create another Wendy, an AI Wendy, an avatar for you, and use you for marketing purposes. So imagine a situation where you have your own crazy Kena, you have your own Abel Mtua, and you don't need him anymore. So unamlipa tu for royalties to use the image, and then that's it. You clone him, unamfanyia kila kitu unataka. Ukitaka atoe commercial ya land, anatoa. Ukitaka atoe commercial ya banking, anatoa. Anything you want from a single video of 15 seconds. You just clone it and then lengthen it. So I go for such tools because they help me be in multiple spaces at the same time. Because if one of my students walks in here right now, they'll see me as a miracle worker. When I'm not really a miracle. I use AI to do that.
Yeah. Leon, it is so mind-blowing to think about all the possibilities that can be achieved under AI. But as you explain how all these things can be done, I'm asking my question, then it means people will have so much power to create multiple identities, even for other people, even in spaces of tech. And how do we now protect ourselves from this? Because clearly from the tools that you are already very conversant with, today all you need is probably one voiceover. You just need one recording of mine from one of my podcasts, and that's it. You can generate content of me doing whatever, and in whatever way, and you can make it as appropriate as, but it's also true that you can make it inappropriate.
Yes.
So are there measures that AI has to ensure that people do not misuse other people's images, voices, and such like things?
I wish I could say yes, but right now, the bigwigs, the governments that make decisions for the rest of the world are discussing that in their legislative systems, legal systems. Hopefully they can come up with a solution, because recently people have been placed in crime scenes. They were not there. All right. People have been placed in infidelity situations. Even in Kenya, I know people who are right now fighting to save their marriages. Mtu alikuwa tu kanisa lakini anatolewa akiwa lodging. So those things are there, and those are the downsides of AI, of course, plus others that I'll speak about later. but there's no a specific solution to such. But hopefully, the people who matter, the people who make these decisions, will come up with a solution or a suggestive solution that we can start working with, because it's dangerous that way.
It's actually a ticking time bomb. And I have embraced AI in part of my academia work, and sometimes I sit and wonder, what was life before ChatGPT, you know? And as much as
who's your professor?
no, as we are actually allowed to use it, but yes.
Okay.
It's on record. It's on record that we are allowed to use the tool, but not misuse it.
Okay.
Because if you just put in the question and copy paste, they just do the reverse and nullify your answers. So as much as it gives you so much power and freedom, it can actually also cost you quite a lot.
Yeah.
And my question is this: really think about the Gen Alphas and the kids who will grow right into this technological evolution, you know. How lazy will they be, for lack of a better word? Because I almost just think of them never using their brains to think, you know, because any question you asked, you know, the answer is right there. So what happens to the academia world? What happens to proper thinking and critical thinking, you know? What does that space look like in your point of view?
Now, lazy is a better word. The word I use is stupid. People are becoming more and more stupid. That's the truth, right? Because if I can do anything without having to involve my mental muscles, then why would I go to that process of painfully thinking about results and solutions? So AI, unfortunately, as one of the downside, is creating more and more stupid people. And I fear for my generation and the coming generation. Personally, what I do to just stay ahead is I read a lot of books. Hard copies, seas of kusoma kwa simu. Those ones you're just lying to yourself. So when you adopt such habits of reading books, probably getting in touch with real people, going for game nights, going for road trips and all that. So those social activities probably will be the saving grace of this generation and upcoming generations. There's nothing else that you can do anyway. Just be social and stay in touch with the real world at the moment as people try to figure out a solution.
Do you know, Leon, we are living in times where we are raising a crop of people that say, oh, you know, I don't want a job where I need to be in the office at 8. People are moving away from the 8 to 5 kind of jobs.
Yeah.
As it is right now, with where we've gotten with technology, people don't want to go to offices. Actually, COVID came and opened the door for working from home, which has been embraced. So there's just a crop of young people who feel like, I do not want to work under tight supervision.
Yeah.
And I've seen videos going around, Leon, and sometimes I empathize, you know? And even before we bring in AI into it, I have had conversations in different quarters where I'm just like, Leon, what is the future of these kids? Because there are corporate sectors that I think will never be done away with, for example, banking. But again, it's a very thin line, because if tellers can be automated and everything, people don't physically need to go there.
Yes.
But then what happens to them? Because as it is right now, people don't want supervision. People want to work under their own terms. And I'm like, then go open your own company. You cannot be employed. You cannot eat your cake and have it. But what is the future then of education, of employment, of especially corporate spaces? Because the creatives, I think this is a win-win situation, you know, because your AI buddy doesn't take breaks. But what is the future like for especially education and the corporate space for us in Kenya with such advancements?
I think the first reason why we reach at the edge of majority and then we start feeling like we don't need unemployment, a 9 to 5, or this education is garbage and all that. That's because from the foundations, we are taught garbage, all right? We are taught education that was used during the industrial period. And right now, we do not have those active industries. So where do you take people who have been trained to be employees in a situation where employment is not created? If you are taught to be a foreman or from a young age, would you really need to worry whether to be a bank teller or a chef?
No.
You'd know that I am a foreman. My job is to build, all right? So understanding kids from their formative stages and investing in what they love doing and not what the market dictates that they do, that's the first solution, right?
Okay. Can I say something?
Yes.
And I want you to hold on to
Yes.
your chain of thoughts, please. This is an argument I've had people having severally. And I come from a contrary school of thought.
Okay.
You know, when you after campus, someone asks you, so how did chemistry help you? How did board mass help you? How did all these curriculum subjects really help us? And Leon, this is my belief and this is my point of view. The subject could not have necessarily helped you or impacted you directly. But the 4 years that you did in your high school level was to teach you resilience, was to teach you adaptability, was to teach you teamwork, was to teach you aggressiveness, you know? And that is how I look at it. Because if you only pursue music from the onset, then how do you learn literature? Because when you come to the marketplace, you need to know how to pitch your ideas to other people. And that is why I am in an industry where I believe in training people on soft skills, for example, public speaking, you know, because people have brilliant ideas. You're a great scientist, but your idea never takes off the ground because then you don't know how to articulate yourself in relevant quarters to make you stand out.
Okay.
So I don't know if it contradicts what or it negates what you're saying, but for me, I think the system that incorporates different faculties of education might not necessarily help you or impact you directly, but what it does, it grooms you to be a holistic individual.
Okay. Actually, it doesn't contradict what I'm saying. The thing is, on a light note, being born in Kenya naturally makes you resilient, right? Adaptable, and all those things you mentioned. Being born in Kenya, those are the traits you come with, all right? Now, number two, education system as a whole is pure garbage, but math is not
Why
garbage.
do you say so?
Math on its own is not garbage. I'll explain. Chemistry on its own is not garbage. You are into public speaking, right?
Yes.
So probably what you needed to be a better public speaker is understanding literature, understanding different languages and all that. So instead of you being taught about geography, you being taught about parts of, genital parts of a female or a male or digestive system and all that. If you are made to focus on sharpening your language skills, and that's English, Swahili, French, Spanish, Arabic, and all that, would you be in a better place as a public speaker? If you are given that space of focusing on what matters more, as far as your career is concerned, would you be a better public speaker?
I would have been a better individual. However, what would I be talking about? Let me tell you, let's make it even, let's make the room.
Before that, I know where you're going with this, all right? Now, this is the same system that is being used in developed countries. Yes, there are all those subjects they are being taught in schools, but someone is made to choose what matters most to them. And then anything else, it's your personal initiative to learn. All right. So, like you, if I were in the system, I would only purpose that you be taught languages. And then how to take care of your finances is something you go learn out there. What to speak about, go read history books. You'll get topics to speak about. What to speak about, go study science. You get things to speak about. That's your personal initiative. All right. So we have an education system that is spoon feeding us, but again, they're spoon feeding us garbage. If you had a system that only focused on what you're good at and then forces you to take initiative to go out there and learn things on your own, then we would have been having a better generation, more resilient than it is, more industrious. We are all lazy in this generation at some level. And that's because we have been trained to be given everything, as much as it's not quality, but we expect to be given everything. So teach someone what's important to them, and then anything else that will help add value into what they're doing, it's their personal initiative to go out there and look for that.
Great. I feel a lot of passion and energy behind your voice. Let's come into who Leon is. Who really are you, and what are your passions? What drives you? What drove you into AI? I would want us to have that understanding also.
A lot of things, quite a lot of things. Now, one, I can say I love making people use their stories, leverage their stories to make business, to make impact and all that. And that's what people call personal branding. So I'm invested so much into personal brands. Today, if I mention 42 kilometers, who comes to mind?
Faith?
42 kilometers.
I don't know.
Kipchoge. If I mention 100 meters, Bolt will come to mind. All right. People today are buying Tesla not because it's a supercar, because of Elon Musk.
Yeah.
That's a personal brand. So people buy you before they buy your product, and I help people leverage on their personal stories.
Okay.
In this country, we have a president because he leveraged on his story of being a chicken seller, all right, and convinced all of us that watu wa bodaboda watakuwa na hang out State House, mama mboga atakuwa na chill tu pale, all right, because he leveraged on his personal story. Hakuja akatuambia is a better leader, alituambia tu mimi nilikuwa nauza kuku, and because of that I know your pain, and I'm going to make sure mama mboga utakuwa na chill na Rachel.
So from bottom to up.
Yes, utakuwa na chill na Rachel hapa. Personal stories, they're very, very powerful.
Important.
We all know Nelson Mandela, the late, not because of how great he was as a leader, but because of his 26 years in the Robben Island. Personal story.
Wow.
So I leverage that a lot because my background has been quite rocky, itself. And then now incorporating that with AI to make things more faster, more efficient, more wider in reach and all that is what I do to make people unstoppable. So that's basically me. And and I love money. That's a big motivation. Napenda pesa. I love money. I love money. Money can never disappoint you. So reason number 2 why I do what I do is I just love money. Nothing else.
Okay. Those are great motivators. And I think someone who also is very keen on personal branding and in the space of public speaking, I cannot agree more with what you're saying. And so there are many of us out there, to be very honest, people who have a very vague understanding of what AI is. So it is here with us.
Yes.
That's the honest truth, And if you cannot beat them, then join them.
Yeah.
So how do we stay abreast? How do we stay prepared, even as this new age of technology is coming here with us?
Create interest. Interest is one of the biggest thing that starts revolutions, starts big changes. It's not motivation, it's interest. Okay, so first get interest in any aspect of AI. The moment I walked in till now, we have 18 billion aspects of AI that have changed so far. 18 billion. So you can never fully understand AI. There's no AI expert. Ukisikia mtu anajita AI expert, they're lying to you, right? Because in under 1 hour, 18 billion aspects of AI have changed. So how can you master 18 billion aspects?
Yeah.
So create interest. Don't get carried with the details, with the fancy words, with the notion of complications and all that. Just create interest, little interest, all right? For you to walk from here to town, you have to start with that one step, right? So start with one step. Go prompt it, just a simple prompt.
Yeah.
I want to go to town. How do I go? I want to cook my eggs. How do I do that? I want to make my coffee. Give me a recipe. simple things that you can work with. And then slowly by slowly, you will see the interest growing and you start embracing this thing. I have a cousin of mine that came to Nairobi for internship. He stays in Mombasa. And I used to talk to him about AI all times. Ananiambia hizo msura nataka kusikia. So one day when we were together, a girl he was trying to hook up with texted. Nikamwambia, hii text usijibu hivi, utajipeana. Go to ChatGPT, paste it, and then ask it, how do I respond to this? He was given 5 responses that were amazing to him. And that whole week, he was chatting with people using AI before even Meta brought their own AI on
I mean,
WhatsApp.
this is crazy. This is crazy.
Right now, he's so deep into AI. He's taking classes that I offer out there. He's joining my classes and all that. So it started from a simple thing. How do I respond to this text? And then it grew to how do I respond to all this text faster? And then it grew to how can I now start studying using this AI? How can I do this using AI? So just create some interest, find a reason to use AI, and then you'll be sorted.
Great. Yeah. There are some skills that maybe we could give tips on, not very technical, but I think number one, being tech savvy, things like that. I don't know where we place things like soft skills in AI, because I think it will do away with that. But again, we are not very sure how it replaces that. So of course, having the interest, but again, what are some of the like technicalities of AI that people should stay in line with to be able to be ahead of the game?
Actually, there are no technicalities, and that's what people fear a lot. Right now, I can develop an app using AI tools, and I've never, ever written a single line of code. Never, ever. I don't even know how a code looks like. I don't know. But I can create an app using tools like Durable, Lovable, and all those, all right? So there are no technicalities. Just take AI as the daily people you interact with. You have an assistant. ChatGPT can be your assistant. All right? You have your accountant. ChatGPT can be your accountant. You have your data analyst. Mkishafanya events, unataka kujua how did it go, where did you mess. Take that information, give it ChatGPT. Proper analytics. So it's not as complicated as the internet when it came. It's actually very simple. And I told you, all you need to understand the few principles. And the biggest principle that carries water 75% of the time is prompt engineering. Just know how to talk to AI and it will give you anything you want. And then the good thing with AI tools is you might not need to necessarily know how to type or speak in English or official languages. You can talk to it in Kikuyu and it will respond. You can talk
and
to
translate
it.
to,
Yes. So just stop thinking about technicalities because there are none. There are none. No technicalities at all. That cousin of mine knows nothing about technology anyway. He's not even interested in tech as it is. But because he found a space in AI that was interesting to him, he has started embracing and using AI in different other aspects. So there are no technicalities. Don't watch out for anything. Just do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The truth is, in most African democracies, we are playing catch up.
Yeah.
We are playing catch up with tech.
That's so unfortunate.
And now we are playing catch up with AI. Early in the conversation, you mentioned about 85% of people in Kenya, Rwanda, let's just say African democracies, are not, conversant or adapting or positioning themselves to AI and how technology is evolving. So, number one, do these governments play a hand in it? Is it a deliberate predicament? Number two, how do you think then the government can help, especially the young people of our country, to move forward and position themselves in tech-savvy spaces?
The government, I am not saying they are directly playing any hand in inhibiting that, but indirectly they're doing it because AI and any form of technology, they usually need facilities. They need systems to be in place. They need infrastructure to be in place. Right now, I have people in my team that are actively creating AI tools, right? But we've taken months and months to collect data points, because to create a simple AI tool, the simplest, you need like 13 million data points. We've collected for months only 5 million data points, right? Because the technology is not powerful enough to help us collect data faster. The systems are not there. Even the data protection systems themselves are just so inhibiting in unknowing ways. All right. So, as much as they're not actively inhibiting, they're indirectly inhibiting. I have someone who has an idea of creating robots of their own. He is a chef and he's interested in creating a robot that can do what he does, right? But just tell me, where will he do that in this country?
Yeah.
Nowhere, right?
Yeah.
Probably nowhere in Africa. So such are the situations that are inhibiting the embracement, the uptake, and the advancement of that topic in this side of the world. But hopefully, as we progress, as they see other countries doing things like making AI mandatory in schools, then they'll start at least doing the bare minimum, putting in infrastructures to help people navigate the topic. We have big companies that will be willing to provide resources for people to start exploiting their genius in that field. But if you are a company in Canada and you are seeing the political situation of Kenya, where businesses are getting robbed and all that,
You'd not
would you
want
really
to take
invest?
the risk and
So
come and
such
do
things
that.
are indirectly harming us in a very bad way, big time. And I just hope people will start checking into that. The necessary, the people who are involved, just checking into that and making necessary adjustments. Yeah.
Yeah.
Young people need that chance.
Yeah, you know, at Speak Up Africa, we have conversations that are tailored to inform, engage, and empower people.
Yes.
And I've had guests who've come to the podcast, even from political fronts. And a controversial debate comes up that I think sometimes the African leaders intentionally deny us the opportunities to empower us, because then we will no longer be pets that they can pounce on, you know.
Yeah.
Because once you empower a people, then therefore they cease being prey to you, you know, and they can check you. Because I really like what you're saying. There are very many opportunities that young people can get into and make themselves their own bosses. Finally, as we come and wind up our conversation today, and I mean, I would want to have you again, because this is such a vast space and place of conversation. You being in the front line of spaces in AI, do we have societies that bring you people together, champion for policy making, champion for things like what you're saying, just being able to access data and having data privacy acts that protects people in AI as it is right now? Do you have societies in Kenya to do that?
We have societies that pretend to do that, which is so unfortunate. Because in their pretense they can seek for grants, etc., etc. But that notwithstanding, we are creating our societies of our own. Of course, in our space, Drexel AI, that's our AI automation company. We have the AI Academy, because we need to teach as many people as possible, from primary school kids to high school kids, university students, professionals out here, on the importance of AI, risks of not embracing it, how to go about it, and all that. So that's a society on its own. And then we have another society that started like a joke. It's called the WWLD. Where most of the time, when people got into trouble, they used to ask me, "Oh, Leon, what should we do here?" Tuko na ngori tufanye nini? So I started the What Would Leon Do community. And one of the super topics we discuss there all the time is AI and how to get into the game. Yeah, so we have that. I have my business networking communities like this one, BNI, and Rotary. I have the United Kenya Club, where we discuss these topics, different times, different days of the week, and all that. So we are trying to create that space for people to explore the field. But what you're doing is definitely not enough. So we need more and more people to start getting legitimate concern.
Exactly.
Not what they're doing right now, legitimate concern for us and for young people. And I believe if we do that and get rid of things like gatekeeping, then we're going to start on a strong foot.
To start the journey to move forward. AI is the body you always wanted to make things better for you. AI is here to stay. AI will make things better. You need to position yourself for AI not to replace you, because there's a very high likelihood that if you do not be up with your skills, AI will replace you. You've mentioned a couple of times that you do trainings, you have forums where people meet. So how do we engage you? And how do we meet you? How do we start training with you? And what are some of the courses that you offer in AI?
We have quite a lot to offer. Like we said, it's a vast topic to explore. Now, one, you can come to my office at the Watermark Business Park in Karen.
Okay.
We have classes there on weekends and on Wednesdays. So you can just visit us there. You'll get someone there at the office to help you. And then on socials, of course, we share every time we have sessions and classes, especially virtual ones. We share on our socials. That's on my private social, Leon Apungu.
You can actually, you can plug yourself. That's your camera. What are your social media names? How do we connect with you? How do we bring you business? You know, you're in the business of making money, and you've said money is the way to your heart.
Yeah. So this is my name on LinkedIn. I only specialize on LinkedIn. Other platforms are good, but not necessarily productive in terms of business. And like I said, I love money. So if a social is not giving me money, then I'm not really interested into that. So this is my name on LinkedIn. You can go check me out. You'll get a lot of content on AI. You'll get plugins to our classes, links to different freely available resources for you to kickstart your journey into AI. And of course, we meet every Friday at the United Kenya Club along Status Road from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. to discuss business networking. And of course, we never fail to mention AI and how we can use that. So you can come, join our meetings every Friday, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the United Kenya Club. And you'll be guided through all the steps that you need to start your journey.
Great. Leon, thank you so much for coming to the podcast. There are very many young people there who have so much potential, but have the fear to even unlock the door about AI and what it's all about. What's your parting shot? What do you tell them? Because AI is here to stay.
There are people who make it happen. There are people who watch and complain and criticize as others make it happen. And there are people who wonder what the hell happened. I choose the former. You choose which person you want to be. And of course, go out there and be great.
Great. Leon, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to having you here many more times, because AI keeps on evolving and getting better. Thank you for being here today. As an African child, technology gives you an opportunity to sit at the table with the people in international fronts. And as Leon has said, the choice is yours today to make. You can sit, fold your hands, and ask yourself, what really happened? What the hell just happened? But you can also choose to pick your tools and become part of the narrative, form your position, be in the space, not to be replaced, but to be in the upfront place to make more money and to be ahead of times. Thank you so much for listening in today at Speak Up Afrika, where we have conversations to inform and empower you. My name is Wendy Lois. I'll be seeing you next in our next episode. For now, I will love you and leave you. Kwaheri.